Hello and welcome back to the Malvern Line. Today is another layout update. Again, I apologise for the last update where I did not video anything past where I said I was going to. And now I've done a fair bit on sort of like the grass cover and things, as you can probably see. The back of the layout is a little bit better lit because I've got the lamp over there. But this is where we've got to. As you can see, I have decided to just do all of the groundwork, even though the shed is not there, quite clearly is not there. I am trying to put together a video for the engine shed. Hopefully that'll be later at some point, but it's still going quite slowly, so I can't guarantee it'll be any time soon. But in the meantime, I am just going to crack on with all of this now. As you can see, quite a bit, I say quite a bit, it's only a small layout. There's quite a few changes to when you last saw this. I have decided to cut this little embankment out down here, and I did that just after the clip of the last update. Like I was thinking about, once it had dried a little bit better and this line was stuck down, I did decide to cut out a small embankment starting around here, going all the way down to the end of the board, and just cut that out. I'm hoping to have a few trees in here at some point. For now, I have every area apart from where the shed is going to sit, where all these pins are, which will come out eventually. I have soiled everywhere. Not that type of soiled, but I've put soil down over where all the grass area is going to be. All the sawdust around where the lines are, all the way down. Some of the colour that I put in down here was a bit weird on the last video. I think I used some brown ink for that. It looked really bad, so I painted over most of it with the burnt umber, but the brown that I had, I painted over all of it. I then got some green scatter. I had two different ones just knocking about, so I've used a combination of that over the top of the soil. I then had some of this sort of like foam, spongy, shrubbery type stuff that also went down, along with some of this, I can't even remember what it's called, but some of this sort of like hedge weedy looking stuff. All of that went down. And then over here I have used Hatton's engine shed oil spill kit, whatchamacallit, I can't remember what it was called, oil spill kit, which seems to have worked a dream in most areas. The one area where it hasn't really worked, where I might have to pull it up and do it again, I think was my fault. I will show you that in a minute. But it seems to have worked lovely. I haven't put any oil over the top, so it looks very grey, as in ash, which isn't a bad thing for this layout since it's going to be predominantly steam, but it is starting to look very good. What I'll do now is I will move the camera around, show you a few different areas, or like 3 areas because there isn't that much to show you, and just give you a feel for how things are looking and where I'm going to be going forward with the layout now. Okay, so here we are down at the one end of the board where we have got the buffer stops. So down here, especially on this nearest track, I have tried to make it look quite overgrown. So here we've gone with a lot of the foam bits, and I think it's lichen, just remembered it, lichen, I think is what that is, up on this end. And coupled up with some static grass, which I have got now, maybe not long enough, but we have got some. I'll do up this area a little bit more, make it look nice and overgrown, so I can have, let's have a look, a few different bits and pieces in here. Maybe a couple of really old looking freight wagons, just to give it a nice rundown feel. Part of this little section. But at the minute I'm quite happy. I haven't painted this buffer up, but I might do that. This buffer took a bit of a battering when I was trying to get it on. It's quite fiddly, so bits may have come off on that one, unfortunately. The other buffer stop, which I think I've shown you in a previous video, I have painted up. Would be nice at some point to replace the lamp on the top with a working light. My electric skills are extremely poor, so I don't know whether that will be in the near future, but it could be something that I look at in the future. So that's where we are down this end, which is looking quite good. Quite happy with it so far. Just a few things to do there. Again, don't know what I'm going to do with the inside of the engine shed. But you know, you never know. One day I might get round to actually finishing the shed off, which is barely started, but we will see about that. And then I might have some videos of me making the shed, which I have started. Potentially me doing some of the detail inside, because I think that would look very, very cool. Especially because I don't know how I'm going to go about sorting out the roof. So it'd be very good just to have sort of like timber frames and things so you can actually look in on it. And then in the future I can sort of make a roof that can just slot on over the top. You know, lots of plans, not much action at the minute. But we'll move on to another part of the layout now. Okay, so right back down the other end now, where I have got the inspection pit, ash pit out the front. Here we again, as you probably saw in the last video, if you saw it, I have got sawdust down instead of ballast for the track. And then now, as you can maybe tell from here, might change the angle up a little bit for you in a minute, I have put down the Hatton's oil spill. There is some in here, on this, in the middle of here, some scattered about, slightly less on this side, quite a lot underneath where the coal stage is going to go here. This bit is the bit that I'm not overly happy with, because I think I've tried to pat it down with my finger, and it looks very poor. And I've piled some up here, as if someone shoveled out a load of ash out the front of the loco. And then we've got like a little rivet, like a running mound down either side of the track here. And then just quite a bit out here, which is just like lots of dirt and muck that's managed to come about and sort of just covering the yard so far. What I will try and do is get the camera a bit higher up so you can angle yourself down onto this. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll come back with maybe a slightly better angle for you. Here we go then, here's a different angle of what I was just showing you then. Let me move this just a tiny bit, there we are. So as you can see, the areas I was talking about are sort of here, maybe a little bit there, but that might be okay weathered up. But this now just looks like someone has patted it down. I think I put too much sawdust. And now I've tried to cover most of the sawdust with it. It looks a bit poor. So I might sort of try and get rid of this bit and sprinkle down a mixture of soil, sawdust and this, then sprinkled over the top. Perhaps I'll do like a little sped up video of that just to show you how I did it. But yeah, we may go with that. But for now, that's where we've got to. From this angle you can see a little bit better the powder for the oil spill, or from the oil spill kit, in the centre of the rails, or in between the rails of the track. In there, didn't want to go too crazy on that, but we've set it up enough, or built it up enough to make it look like the loco might be dropping some ash out of its firebox, or you know, someone's missed a little bit and emptied it out onto the tracks and they've sort of just got rid of what they can. Maybe You can see a little bit of the inspection pit here if I move a little bit closer, and you can see how the dust has made the fire pit here look very grubby. I may give it a little bit of a clean up, but build up a little bit more around here just so it's a little bit more flush. But that's looking very good. It's now looking nice and grubby. Again, I might get rid of some of the grubbiness, especially like on the steps and things, which they might want to maintain a little bit better to get up and down. But that's where we are with that. I will try and get a shot down the bank, down the hillside. Hill, it is very much like a small bank. It's quite a gentle slope. And show you that, and then I will show you the other side of the engine shed very quickly to show you how I've done a little bit of soil, scatter, and other bits and pieces. And then perhaps I'll do like a short clip at the end of this one. But again, I am useless when it comes to doing another clip after I say I'm going to. But hopefully this time I'll remember. But I'll just go for another angle for you guys and we'll be right back. And here we go. You've got another angle here of the bank, if it will focus properly for you. But just showing you down the side here that we have got some soil, some scatter, little bits of other pieces to make up this hillside. And you know, I'm very happy with how it's turned out, seeing as I've never really done scenery on a railway before. It's very much just sticking tracks down on a board and running some trains around, which I haven't done for God knows how long now. But this is looking very good. I think it will look great once I've got a few things on here. I need to give the rails a good clean and everything, but it's getting there. But yeah, this is just a really quick look. It's the same as the rest of the layout, this, and then this will probably have less static grass on it. I'd like to keep it a little bit different to the rest of the layout. I may put a few more shrubs in, and maybe a tree or two would look very cool on this side, because I'm not sure which side is going to be the front and which side is going to be the back. But I'd like to get a couple of maybe small saplings down here, and maybe in the back corner over that way somewhere there. I'd like to get a couple of bigger trees, maybe an oak tree would look very cool in that corner. And perhaps that could be the front then, and you get like a different angle of the engine shed with the bit that jutters up, sticks out. And then you can see a few things hiding behind there as well then. But I'll quickly show you the other side where you get a better look at the scatter and the foliage and things that I've got on that side. And then we'll either finish the video there, or if I'm organised enough, I will do a little video of me maybe cutting out some of the oil spill kit that I'm not happy with. Or now that I've got some static grass and some coal, I can crack on with the coal stage and finish off or do a little bit more out the front of the engine shed. And I can show you sort of like some static grass that's down, and then it's very much getting onto the coal stage and the engine shed and sort of getting that going / done, and then just doing very minute details then. I think it's quite amazing how much you can get done quickly on a small layout. I watch some of the guys on the other YouTube channels and they seem to just absolutely fly through some of this stuff, and I just don't seem to work anywhere near as fast. As you can probably tell, this is months from when I started and we're not really that much further. But yeah, I'll quickly show you the other side and then we'll see where the rest of this video goes. And here we are. If I can change this a little bit, you can sort of see what I have managed to do with this then. So you've got a lot of shrubbery out the back here with all the scattering soil sort of put in and out over the top of each other. Just kept playing with it until I was happy, and this is the look that I've got at the moment. A little bit of static grass I hope will help set it off a little bit more. I haven't got an applicator, but I have managed to get, if I show you, a puffer bottle. which will hopefully be okay. We will see how that goes. And then I've got a couple of different static grasses, both spring, one from Hornby and one from Gauge Master, which were a little bit cheaper than the others. So I've got this one and this one to play with, over the top of each other, mixed in with each other, separate, you know, just to give different effects here and there. But that, I feel, scattered about will look very good. And then if I bring you back down here, I can sort of show you the plan. This is a pre-made coal stage, but this is where a coal stage is going to go, probably from about there all the way down to here. I want quite a big coal stage with perhaps a cover that goes over the top and the end. I'm unsure whether I've shown you a photo that I found on the internet. If I can find it again, I will insert it in this section showing you what I would like, roughly. But that's the picture I'm going to use as sort of reference. So here there will be a corner here which runs along all the way. And then this half of the coal stage will be open so that a coal wagon can pull in here and either bags, slack, whatever can come off and be broken up and shoved up this end. And then over this half I will have a little canopy, hopefully, that will go over the top. That is my plan for the next couple of days, is to make that coal stage. Then I can put some coal and things down, which I picked up from Hornby again, which seemed to be available and about when I wanted it. So I will get some of this down, but I will have to seal this coal. I've got some matte varnish somewhere because it does leave a lot of dust everywhere apparently. So for this clip I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully there'll be another little clip after that I can show you of something. I can't remember what I said I was going to do now. Oh yeah, maybe cutting out some of the oil spill kit, the powder that you put down. Might cut some of that out, and potentially some static grass. And then I think that'll be it for this video, guys. But if this is the only clip that I get in, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If I'm good enough and remember, hopefully you'll have another clip now. Cheers, guys.